If being bossy was a sport, our neighborhood group president will win gold every single time. Picture this lady walking up to your house like she owns the place, bringing a whole group of people with boats, saying your lake belongs to everyone. That's exactly what happened to me. She marched right down my driveway with 4 rented boats, heading straight for my private lake. But here's what she didn't know. I control all the water in that lake with a secret switch in my old shed. And guess what day she picked for her big boat party? The exact day I always drain the lake to check on things. So there they were, paddling around taking videos for social media, when the water started going down. Slowly at first, then faster and faster. That's when the sharp black spikes started poking up through the water like angry shark teeth. You should have seen their faces. One boat got stuck, a lady fell in, and almost hurt her leg bad, and Karen, our neighborhood president, started screaming for help like I had set traps on purpose. Sometimes life has a funny way of teaching bullies a lesson. Let me tell you how this whole crazy story started. 6 months ago, my whole world fell apart. A terrible car crash took away my wife, Sarah, and left me with a hurt leg in this old house my grandpa left me. Now it's just me and the lake. Every week, even though walking is hard, I drag myself on crutches to the water because taking care of Grandpa's lake system is the one thing I still know how to do. This lake is all I have left of my family, and I'm not going to let anyone take it away from me. Meet Karen Thompson. If you've ever met someone who treats neighborhood rules like they're the most important laws in the world, that's her. She's got perfect hair that never moves and a fake smile that could fool anyone. She drives up in her big fancy car with Jake, her helper, already filming everything on his phone. "Good morning, Tom," she says without even being invited. "We need to talk about the community lake before we make it official." I tell her straight up, this lake is on MY land, fed by a spring system my grandpa built 40 years ago. I have the papers to prove it. But she's not listening. She pulls out this thick folder full of papers and charts. Her so-called expert says my spring connects the water under everyone's yards, so suddenly MY Lake belongs to the whole neighborhood. Can you believe that? The way she talks. You'd think she had the deed to my property. Jake starts talking about community values and fun for families and making house prices go up. He even calls it supervised, like they think I'm the problem here. When I point out they're planning to bring people onto my land without asking, based on some report I've never even seen, Karen finally shows her true colors. "We're not asking for permission," she says. "Legally, we don't need it. The event is happening. We have insurance, we did safety checks, and we told everyone, with or without you." I watched them leave, my leg hurting, and realized she just started a war with me. What Karen didn't know is that Grandpa's lake is like a fortress. Every Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon, like clockwork, I do my weekly maintenance. There's a hidden brass handle under a fake wall in my tool shed that connects to a bunch of pipes. And yes, there's a grid of metal spikes that pop up. They're supposed to help with erosion, but they're sharp enough to pop a tire or a boat. I'm the only person alive who knows how it all works. That evening, my neighbor Betty came over with cookies. She's 67, smart as a whip, and sees through every trick. "Karen's going too far," she tells me. "You need to write down everything that happens. That expert report is probably fake." She was right. Karen had been planning this like a chess game, but I was born on this land. Saturday came, and like clockwork, the circus arrived. Big cars, coolers, kids, helpers with cameras, the whole show. Karen was there dressed like she was going camping, getting everyone excited for her social media video about community togetherness. I stepped onto my porch with my crutches and warned everyone, "The lake has things underwater you can't see. Please be careful." Some parents looked worried, but Karen talked right over me, waving more papers around, saying everything was insured and safe. Jake was recording me, asking on camera if I was trying to ruin community fun. I told him, "For the record, this is private property that's been in my family for 3 generations, and I'm just making sure people know what they're getting into." Betty picked that perfect moment to show up with the original lake permits and maintenance records. Sneaky but smart. A few families suddenly looked nervous, but most stayed for the show. By 2:30 sharp, I was back in my shed with my hand on the valve. The boats were in the water, people laughing and having fun. I turned the handle, and the lake started to drain. At first, nothing happened, just some scraping sounds. Then a kid yells, "Mom, I hit something." Karen tells everyone to paddle to deeper water, right into Grandpa's spike area. The first boat got stuck with a big hole in it. The man inside was yelling, "Help!" Parents started screaming. Kids were crying. Jake dropped his camera in the water. Karen completely lost it, calling 911 and screaming that I was a crazy person with death traps. In minutes, the whole scene was like a disaster movie. Spikes everywhere, boats with holes, adults falling in water, kids crying. The fun community event was now a nightmare. By sunset, my peaceful lake was just a muddy hole full of spikes and broken boats. And everyone thought I was the bad guy. Sunday, the real trouble started. Karen went on Facebook and news, spinning the story. Neighborhood president saves families from crazy neighbor's death trap. The videos went viral online. News reporters showed up at my house. By Tuesday, I got a letter from the police saying I might go to jail for putting people in danger and maybe hurting someone on purpose. 3 families wanted to sue me. My insurance company dropped me. Strangers were calling for my arrest. The whole world had turned upside down. Now I was the crazy person, the villain, the man who tried to hurt the whole neighborhood. Even I started to wonder if I was wrong. That's when Betty came back with a box full of county records. She showed me every permit, every inspection, every log since 1983. And the best part, a police report I'd filed before the event, telling law enforcement about my maintenance schedule. I'd done everything the right way. The real shocker. Someone had stolen my property records, but Betty found the originals buried at the courthouse, right where Karen's friends had hidden them. Then came the final surprise. Late Friday night, Jake showed up at my door, shaking and scared. He told me everything. Karen had paid for fake expert report, spied on my routines, planned the boat event on the exact day I drained the lake, hid my documents, and even promised Jake a better job at the bank if he helped set me up. Jake had text messages, emails, recordings, even Karen's voice on tape admitting she planned the whole disaster to ruin me and steal my lake. The next morning, my yard was packed with reporters, neighbors, and police. Jake gave all his evidence to the police, and suddenly they were on MY's side. Karen showed up ready for the cameras, but the crowd was angry now. The TV reporter asked about Jake's confession. Jake read the emails out loud. Betty handed over Karen's own handwritten letter to her daughter, admitting her pain and her evil plan. People felt sorry for her and mad at her at the same time. By the end, Karen was standing there all alone. 3 months later, she admitted she was guilty of lying and conspiracy. She got probation and community service and had to pay for all the damage. Jake lost his bank job, but the community forgave him and he got a fresh start. Betty got elected as the new neighborhood president. I turned the lake into a memorial park with posted drainage times, safety rails, and Grandpa's memory kept alive. Karen started helping at a women's shelter, trying to do something good with her pain. And me? I found peace sharing the lake with people the right way. This story taught me that water flows where it's supposed to, and so do people. Sometimes all you can do is stand your ground and wait for the dust to settle. That's how you turn pain into purpose and property lines, into something that brings people together instead of tearing them apart. So what do you think? Was justice served? Or is this just another crazy neighborhood story? Have you ever seen a bully meet their match? Share your story in the comments below. Let's see where you think the real line between right and wrong gets drawn in neighborhoods. And remember, sometimes the truth is like water. It always finds a way to the surface. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wild neighborhood stories. Have you ever had to deal with someone trying to take what's yours? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one.